AC Starlord, aka Austin. Welcome back to this channel. And I just saw Superman, the new Superman, but this one is about the death of Superman. This is one of my favorite graphic novels of all time, and the reason why is because you never thought a man like this would be beaten down and beaten down, beating up Doomsday. Also, at the very end of this, see, back and forth, the very end of this, he dies. And then there's another issue where he comes back to life. I need to grab that, not graphic novel, but the only reason why I love this is because there's a man in real life in the Bible that has done this. Doesn't fight Doomsday, doesn't fight anyone, but fights the Roman soldiers and fights everyone else in the world mentally, mentally, not kind of, but mentally. It was Jesus. Jesus died on the cross for everyone's sins and came back after being rolled in the tomb and came back on, like, that's why we celebrate Easter and all stuff like that. But he came back, and also only way you get through to God after all that, I mean, the only way you can get to him is through God. Like, basically that's the reason why he did that. But he also paid for our sins. Now, does Superman pay for people's sins? No, Superman did exactly what he needed to do. He needed to protect the people of Metropolis and protect the people around the world. And order to do that is to beat Doomsday, to beat down Doomsday and beat down on him as much as possible he can. And the process of that he dies. Then he comes back to life and he gets a black suit and all that stuff like that. But the death of Superman is just a good read because you never thought a man that super and that powerful with laser eyes and ice breath and strength and all that stuff and super speed would die. You never thought that that image of that character would ever die, and you would never ever think that that man could ever bleed or ever. I mean, you see scars on his face in comics and movies and TV shows and stuff like that, but you would never ever think that that he would ever die, Even having death in the title, the death of Superman, having the death in the title kind of makes you feel sad, makes you feel pretty depressed and sad, doesn't it? But also can bring a little bit of excitement because look, you never seen this ever happen in the history of every Superman comic book ever made. Every Superman comic book that's been ever been made since after this happened, he's been alive. He hasn't died. After Superman Lives, I think that's the name of the next one, he stayed alive. He hasn't died. Now there's close encounters that he has almost died. There's also if Crisis on Infinite Earths when he almost died. But like those close encounters, but they have never killed him since they made this book in the early 90s. Um, because some of these issues from 1991, 1992, 1993, the Superman, his death is in 1993. So like it hasn't happened in a while. Now, how they rebooted the movie Doomsday, which I do have that, which I might watch pretty soon after reading this. Yes, they upgraded that. They did have the Death of Superman Blu-ray movie, but like again, that's just them doing a movie version adaptation of this great no graphic novel. This great graphic novel right here is the only written novel that he's died and lived and came back. And is there other characters in here? Yes. There's other people in here that help out, but Doomsday pretty much takes out like I think a small town and takes out Metropolis, and then Superman comes and saves the day as he normally does, but he doesn't stop until he saves people. And again, like I referenced Jesus, Jesus did the same thing. Jesus on along his way try to preach and try to create disciples and have friends, and those disciples were his friends and show off miracles. And he necessarily didn't have to. People heard about his miracles, heard a word of mouth that this man is a man that can heal you or can give you knowledge and all that stuff. There's a woman of the well that he knew everything about, and then after talking to her, this the woman said, "This man knows everything about me. This woman, this man knew everything about me, and I didn't have to say nothing, basically." Go tell the, and then basically everyone that came encounters with this man, this great man, they went and told people about the stuff that he did. Now, people also similarities to Superman. Again, people saw Superman save a little girl, save a little girl, save the world from Lex Luthor, save the world from other threats with even Batman and other characters. But word of mouth also was this man saved us. This man is super. He saved me and you and everyone in Metropolis and everyone that can, even in space. And also, people heard a word of mouth of this man saving them and being the protector and sort of like their messiah and their DC in their DC universe. That's saying that Superman's a god, but basically he is sort of a god in that comic book outlook of DC. And Conrads and people in Metropolis were crying. There's even a scene, I'll show it to you. It's to me, it's upsetting, but there's a scene in this book. I'm going way too far. Actually, I'm going into the beginning. Hold on. See, there's people crying. There's other superheroes and other people crying. Lois Lane, and then Jimmy Olsen's taking pictures. I'm gonna go back to one page. Sorry, I'm flipping. I'm flipping. Where's that girl that has a Bugs Bunny shirt? Oh, there's a girl in here that has a Bugs Bunny shirt. It's iconic scene. Here we go. I'll find it. Hold on. I'm don't mean for this video to be like this, but I'll find the picture I'm looking for. It's the reason why I have a little chuckle in it because it's a iconic CW character that like is on this girl's t-shirt, but she's weeping and I need to find it. Hold on. And this iconic image right here. See that little girl right there? She's weeping for Superman, but she's a fan of Bugs Bunny. And the reason why I find it a little, I mean, it's upsetting. It's very upsetting, but what I find it a little bit funny is they put a smiling Bugs Bunny on her sweatshirt and she's weeping tears for Superman because she's also, knows about Superman and what he's probably done for the city. And that's just to tell you, hey, we also have, I mean, this is CW. I mean, DC owns CW. We also have this character. It's just funny how they have a smiling Bugs Bunny iconic character that you know iconically from a Looney Tunes and put it in there and have it on a sweater that's smiling to give you like, hey, there's something, even though this you see all this death happening, there's something happy there happening in there. But this book is like one of my favorites. I can't say you can't ask I can't say like why. People can say I can and cannot say like, hey, why or is this your favorite? Well, I can say because another man in history has done this before. It's a little bit different outlook of how it looks. But there's a man that died for me, and there's a man that died for people of Metropolis. It's just a cool, easy representation of talking to someone about this. Like if you want to talk to someone about Christ and they heard stories about it, but they also heard that also Jesus died on the cross for them. Sometimes it might be easier for someone like me that loves movies and comics, especially comics. I can say, well, there's also an iconic story about Superman. And Superman also died and came back to life. And where do you think they got that from? They got it from straight from the Bible. So, and this is a good one. I picked it up at Red Rock City Comics way back during like a couple Christmases ago. I got a gift card from someone that used to be in my life, and that was not in my life, but hope that person still is doing okay. But I got a gift card from her and her family, and I picked this one up straight up because this is again a good representation of the death and resurrection of Christ. But I had to get the other resurrection. I mean, I had to get the other book that Superman rises from the dead. But from now, I have this one, and this is one of my favorite ones. I probably would read this again. I know it's a weird outcome where like I finished this part, there's a new Superman movie, but it just happened that way. So yeah, if you like this video, put a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and deuces.